Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Star Wars: The Forces of Evil, the new Powerpuff Girls, and Samurai Jack, among others. I'm Justin Cummings, and today I'm joined by Michelle Anderer.
Hello.
My voice is gone.
Let's rest the elephant in the room right now.
It is really bad, and I'm sorry, everyone, but the show must go on. This is already delayed from last week, so we had to get to it. Today, Michelle and I are covering the first 2 episodes of the new season of Samurai Jack. You can listen to this.
So bad for you right now,
no, I feel okay. I just sound awful.
No, we should address that. Yeah, Justin's told me he's pretty okay, but his voice sounds like so awful.
I sound like a dead cat, but I'm okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I swear I'm okay. Good. But you can find this podcast and all our podcasts at overlyanimated.com or by searching Overly Animated on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher, including Stitcher. Michelle, what did you think of Samurai Jack? Oh, before we start, because this is a TV-14 show, the podcast will follow about the same guidelines. We're not going to go overboard, but there might be some language, so if that bothers you, now is a good time to tune out. If that bothers you. So with that disclaimer, Michelle, what did you think of the first 2 episodes of the new season?
Okay, so we both agreed we had not seen this show really beforehand. Did you watch any of the original series before you watched this?
I had seen a few episodes here and there, but I hadn't seen the whole series now.
Yeah. I've seen none of it, so going in completely cold, I love it. Oh my god, this show is so cool. I mean, I'm starting to figure out what the plot is and who the characters are. Which I'm sure that's really exciting for the people who've been waiting so long to see season 5 happen. But man, just the art direction and the animation and just how all the shots are composed. It's been a while since I've seen something like this so thoughtfully done and looks so good. I'm so into it. This is such a fun show, and it's such it's just such a fun show to watch, you know? It makes you feel very pumped and invested in it. So I really like it. I wish I knew a little more about what was going on. I guess something to do with portals. The portals are closed, and Samurai Jack can't defeat the main guy for that reason / go home, and maybe everyone's dead in this home time period. I don't know, but I'm really interested to find out what's happening because it's definitely piqued my interest.
Yeah, it's been really, really good, and I think I was kind of scared, when it was coming back. I was I know it's a good show from, what I've seen, but I'm can it compete now?
Yeah. And I think it totally can. Because,
it ended in 2004, but already I'd say this is one of the best animated shows on right now.
Yeah, it looks so good. Just
so pretty.
The colors and just the composition and how the frame size will change at certain parts and just it's so good and all the close-ups it's so thoughtful and that's the thing I always heard when people are oh, Michelle, you need to watch Samurai Jack, the things they tell me is it has amazing animation and great art direction and I don't know what the original show looked like, but this totally blew me away. It was so nice. So yeah, I'm super hyped for Samurai Jack at this point.
Yeah, this is definitely, this is what fans wanted. And, the basic plot of the show was, Jack was basically raised to defeat Aku.
He was?
He was raised, from a baby to defeat Aku.
Wow.
And so that was kind of, his destiny. And now he's stuck in this time and he can't go back. And so it's kind of been his fight to defeat Aku this entire time. And I think season 4 ended on a cliffhanger of him finally going back, and now they're showing kind of how they got to that cliffhanger. I think. Oh,
that's interesting. That really makes me want to watch the original 4 seasons because, I think that would definitely clear some things up.
But that being said, this has done a good job of standing on its own so far.
Definitely. You get a sense of all the major players, definitely. And I was surprised because I thought the way I assumed Aku was gonna be like super intense, but he's been kind of like chill. I'm like, what? And if Samurai Jack's like whole existence has been to defeat him, and he's like, he acts like that, and he has like a therapist, it's just like, wow, okay.
It's kind of like the running gag of the show is like, Jack is so dedicated, and it's such a serious show,
so serious.
And Aku is just the stupidest villain.
Like, when he put the flames on the top of his eyes to get ready in the morning, I was like, this is the guy? Okay, wow. Okay, this is amazing.
So let's split it up. Let's start with the first episode. That montage of, like, I think the scene that to me was the best was with the leaves falling on the water.
Yeah, and like the people inside, and then like him hallucinating all the bodies, and like that's what I was like, oh right, like you told me this is going to be like a higher like maturity rated show, and like there it is, like look at all those bodies just floating in the river, my god.
Because that was kind of a complaint with the old show for some people is Jack was kind of like this stoic character, but now we're kind of like looking into his psyche a bit, and like that scene was like that was rough.
Yeah, it was rough. It was uncomfortable, but it was so well done.
Oh, it was like that whole episode was just stunning.
Yeah, oh, so good. And again, as somebody who like had no context for what the show was, like I feel like it did a good job either reminding people or setting it up for those of us who were new to this universe. Yeah. A question. So like he keeps like looking off and like seeing this like shadowy figure on a horse. Is that figure supposed to be Aku, or is that like someone else?
We don't know who that is. Like even people who saw the original, like he's a mystery for this new season.
I wondered if that was like him in the past almost. Like I didn't know that was like his other like self, like his past self. But okay, so nobody knows. That's good.
We'll find out soon enough. We can theorize. What do you think of the daughters of Aku?
Oh my god! Oh, I love them so much, and now they're all probably dead, and that bums me out because like we spent the 2 episodes like building them up, and now like they don't care anymore. And
not
that
a
makes
spoiler. I saw the promo for the next episode, like the little 30-second clip. They're good. Like they're gonna be the main antagonist. Well, 6 of them.
I hope so. Oh no! But the main girl, she's dead for real.
He did kill one of them, yeah.
Oh no, but she was the one who looked outside, who I thought had like the most like sort of.
I think that was her. Was it?
I don't know. I thought that was the main one, the one in the middle, the 7th.
I don't think it was.
I don't know. Okay.
We'll get into that one more, but
her hair is like slightly different, so if it's not her,
I love the training scenes of like them growing up and.
Good. Like they don't give you a lot of time to establish them, but like every second they use like does a perfect job of showing like, okay, this is like their mentality, like this is how they're being trained, like this is their life. And it's like it's so tight, it's so well done. Like none of these 2 episodes felt like wasted space, you know? Like none of it was filler. Like it was all so intentional at progressing the story. And
it's such a great contrast that like Aku is so lame.
Yeah.
And then you have the daughters who are just, like, amazing warriors.
Are they, like, legit his offspring or not? That's one thing I was confused about.
No, like, I think they're just, like, a cult.
Oh, they're just a cult. Okay. And did that one lady really give birth to, like, 7 children?
Yes, and that scene was, like, intense.
Yeah, whoa, pregnancy at an altar. She should have, like, a midwife or something. That's not...
that scene was where I was like, okay, TV 14, here we go.
After the 3rd kid, I'm like, okay, so she's done now, right? But there's like, no, oh, there's 5. No, there's more than that. And I was like, what?
That was...
Are these... Yeah. Such an interesting backstory, though, right? So, like, he was raised to defeat Aku, and these ladies were raised to defeat him. That's a very interesting parallel. Yeah. I really hope that most of them survive then. Because they seem really cool.
Oh, yeah, I love their design.
Yeah, they're so... Yeah, and the masks and everything.
However, Scaramouche, the villain introduced for that one episode, what did you think of him?
Oh, the robot dude?
Yes.
Oh my god, he was amazing. Like, his wacky voice, but like, he's like flute playing.
You know who
and
played
just,
him,
like...
right?
No,
Tom
who was
Kenny.
it? No.
Tom Kenny.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
He just shows up, does an amazing performance, and leaves.
Yeah, no, that was great, though. Like, I was really into that character.
I love the idea of the tuning fork dagger.
Yeah.
Like, just
That's
the
like
whole
actually
character.
really, he had like so many weapons. Like he had that. He had the flute thing. He could literally just sing to make swords move around in the air. Like he's the total package. It's too bad he got destroyed in one episode.
Yeah, what's wrong, Jack, baby?
Yeah, I know, right? It's just like part of it's like really off-putting, but part of it's like so good. The weird contrast of like what he looks like and what he talks like.
One of the running themes of the show is like always that Aku's sending these robots, and that like Jack basically only ever fought robots.
Oh, right. Well, that makes sense then, because like in the second episode, he's like, "It's just not simple. It's like they're not like real." And then he finds out he actually killed a human. And he's like, "Oh no!"
Yeah,
that makes sense. Okay.
Like that. So first episode was definitely great, but it was a lot of just like setting up kind of what we're doing.
Set up.
The second episode, I think the most important scenes we have kind of him arguing with himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd say the scene in the, I guess the mausoleum with the crypt. I'd say those are like the two biggest moments in the show so far. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because it's all new to me, so it all feels like very important. But yeah, the part where he's arguing with himself is like a pretty big deal because like he's like, you know, like his conversation is essentially like, should we commit suicide? Like, shouldn't we just give up? It's been like 50 years, man. Like, what are we doing? And like ultimately he decides like, no, I'm gonna keep going. But, like, that's, like, a very heavy conversation to have. And that's, like, that really puts in perspective, like, how long he's been doing this and, like, where he is and his motivation in life at this point. Same with Aku, too, though. Aku's like, yeah, I just, like, figured, like, after I closed the portals, like, he would just, like, you know, die eventually. But he didn't! He hasn't aged at all! Like, and I'm getting tired of waiting. So, yeah. It's really interesting.
The music in the scene where they were in the crypt.
Yeah, that was so good, right? Like, it was just like, it was so atmospheric. And like, with the bug and then the light goes out. It was just so good.
Like, I call it now, I will nominate Jack versus the Daughters of Aku from that episode for an OVs for best fight. Like, that was amazing.
It was really cool.
Like, this show is just so beautiful. Like, just the music in that scene was just harrowing. It was so well done.
And just, like, the angles they were using and how they were cutting back and forth and, like, the color contrast with the black and, like, that very, like, neon green, like, the very sinister green. It was all just, like, really good. These are people who, like, definitely know how to craft a show, like, very intentionally and very dynamically.
Like, yeah, you can tell Gendy's on board. Like, this man knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And so we finally get to the moment where Jack kills one of the Daughters of Aku, and when he cut her neck, like, I just sat there and it was just like, WTF.
Yeah.
Like, that stunned me, cause...
Yeah.
Like,
it's been a while since we've seen blood on an animated show, right?
Yeah, it's like, I knew they had the rating, but even then, it's like, I'm used to blood in cartoons from, like, Archer and Family Guy and Rick and Morty. But to see it from something, like, you grew up with in your childhood.
Yeah.
To, like, now being able to do that. And, like, that whole last scene was just, like, that was a bloody scene.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he had the dagger in him.
Yeah. But also, because I guess, like, the thing is also, like, so, like, at the beginning you see that, like, wolf, right?
Yeah.
That white wolf. It starts, like, attacking that, like, I guess, like, sort of tiger or whatever with the huge mouth of teeth. And at the end, it's kind of like so it's like a parallel, right? Of, like, his, of him being attacked, by the 7 daughters of Aku. Because at the end, like, it's basically saying, like, yeah, like, he destroyed all them. The wolf is, like, I think the wolf's actually dead, but, like, we know Samurai Jack's not dead. But, like, I guess that was, like, the parallel they were going for. But, yeah, because, like, when the wolf attacked the cat thing, like, that was really gory, too. Like, you saw some actual blood, and I was like, oh, man, like, okay, here we go. This is why the rating is what it is, so we can do stuff like this.
And what I liked was the show's not like, yeah, we have an adult rating now, damn all of you.
It's not just doing it for no reason. It's like very particular in how it uses it, but it's still like, yeah, like we're saying, like it leaves an impact when it happens.
Right. They only wanted like the violence aspect. They didn't want like the sexual content of the language. They just wanted the violence. And I don't think they're like, we're going to make a more adult Samurai Jack. They're just like, we're not going to hold back this time.
Yeah, we're going to limit it. That's where we want to tell. Yeah.
Right. We're not going to be like, oh, they're robots, so it's oil, not blood. Like, they're not going to use that as an exclusive kind of excuse anymore.
That's a good point, because there was that one shot in the first episode after he defeats the last, like, huge robot, and it just, like, spews oil, like, after he destroys it. So now that it's advancing to, like, actual blood, like, that is an interesting thing to think about, like, how one would react to a difference there.
Yeah, because, I mean, I did, like...
Yeah,
even though we'd seen the huge oil spurts, it was still just seeing, like, that one...
And it wasn't a lot of blood. Spurt. It was just, like, a bit of blood coming off the neck, and then when she falls, you see, like, the pool around her, and, like, that's just, like, yeah. It just, like, changes everything.
It was a really well-crafted moment. I think a lot of shows could learn from this. Like, this is how you do TV 14 right. Like, this is how you do a more mature cartoon.
Yeah, and when it's not like as you were saying, like not for the sake of just like having the rating to do whatever. Like this is very intentional, and it works really well because of that.
Yeah, and I think because the show it's basically trying to be like an anime. It's trying to, because I mean it's on the Toonami block. It's trying to do.
Yeah, it's definitely got some influences.
Even the original show was inspired by anime. I mean, just look at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I think. This is kind of like, this is the show growing up with the fan base. Because most of the people who watch this as kids can now handle that kind of more mature show. And it's very rare we see a show kind of evolve like that. And I think it'll make binge watching a bit weird. But,
yeah.
Because it's like, 1 through 4 is one thing, and it's season 5, and it's a whole new thing. But for those who, like, grew up with the original, that's just, like, exactly what they needed.
Mm-hmm.
It's, like, because the show is just more sophisticated with, like, the look at his psyche and just the darker moments. It's really good. Like, I can't get over how good this show is.
Yeah, from only 2 episodes, I'm, like, so into this show from knowing nothing about it before. Like, it's just, like, such a pleasure to watch, Like, it's just, like, it's, like, a fun ride, like, the whole way through. Like, I was never at any moment like, oh, like, I wonder how many minutes are left. Like, I was just sucked in until the ending, like, every time.
And what sucks is it's only 10 episodes.
Oh, really? Oh,
it's just a miniseries.
Okay.
But... This kind of seems like an experiment. Because,
oh, really? You think so?
Well, think about it. Cartoon Network took a chance. It rebooted one of their old... Not rebooted. It continued one of their old Cartoon Network shows on Adult Swim.
Mm-hmm.
They've never done that. And so
True.
I think if this does well, they could get more episodes, and they might try it again with something else. Like,
yeah, I don't know if they'd get more I think this is probably it for Samurai Jack. Unless they, like, change the story. Like, because this is season 5, right? It's not just, like, a reboot. It's, like, literally the ending of the original story.
Yeah, they've continued the numbering, because you see, like, the chapter titles at the end of the episode. It's the original numbering. It's still going.
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah, that's true. Because Over the Garden Wall was Cartoon Network's first official, like, miniseries ever, right? And that was, like... a couple years ago, so maybe
2014, I think.
Yeah, I think so. So, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe this is like them like getting a little braver and like branching out more. And if this does well, which I assume it will because it's awesome, maybe they'll do more things like it for other shows.
We can talk about that more at the end of this podcast, but I know there's a couple of like really obvious ones to go with next.
Is there?
Really obvious, but. I think for a lot of people this is a breath of fresh air because the past few years when Cartoon Network says reboot, everyone gets really scared Because, like, Teen Titans Go,
even
if you like Powerpuff Girls, it's not the same as the original.
It's got a lot of negative,
Even if you like it, it's not the original.
Official, Craig McCracken's not touching it at all, which is, like, a very different kind of, like, he's the creator. So.
And now we're getting the Ben 10 reboot, and it's, like, all these reboots.
Oh, we are? I didn't know about that.
Well, Ben 10 looks good, I'll admit. But, but you have the new Scooby-Doo series, which they always do that with Scooby-Doo, though. But it's like Cartoon Network's kind of got a bad rap whenever they mention an old product. So for Samurai Jack to come back, continue, everyone's complaint is like the reboots are like too kidified. Samurai Jack's like the opposite. It's a continuation. The original creator's still working on it. It's more adult, more mature. It's like everything fans have wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, if anything, this is kind of like proven how great Adult Swim has gotten. And like, this might turn people away from Cartoon Network even more. Because they're like, we don't even need Cartoon Network for the Cartoon Network shows anymore. Adult Swim can do it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, the non-rebooted Cartoon Network shows are still, like, really great.
But they air so rarely now.
This is true.
Like, literally over 50% of Cartoon Network's weekly schedule is Teen Titans Go. Over half of, literally, if you turn on Cartoon Network, it is almost guaranteed it will be Teen Titans Go. That is how bad the odds are.
It's interesting. I wonder what'll happen in the next couple of years then. Like, at least it's not gotten to a bad place in terms of, like, you know, like Nickelodeon as a network. Like, I think that's probably, like, the worst you could be right now, unfortunately. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
But, back to the episodes. What did you think of the little, the alien-looking things with the,
Oh! Yeah, with the words would come out of the
words,
like, that's
like
how
the
they
little
communicated.
electrical impulses,
through text emojis. I thought they were cute. I wondered if they were featured more prominently in the original series, and that's why they were there at the beginning. No, they're just there. Okay.
This show has a habit of just like random characters constantly, and they're all memorable. Like, this show does memorable one-off characters so well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think they truly understand the idea. Unlike a lot of shows, it's just like, here's a random thing. They, like, really craft them well. Which...
Yeah, so, like, okay, so all the portals are closed, right? But, like, is he going to visit, like, a lot of different locations that all have, like, distinctive fields and different, like, kinds of, like, inhabitants for them?
It seems.
Okay.
It seems, like, based on the time period he's in, like, it seems it's going to be pretty diverse.
Yeah. What time period is he in? Do we know that?
Not really.
Okay, I guess it doesn't really matter, but... No. That's interesting. I guess he's in the future from maybe his time period because he has like a gun at least.
Yeah.
So
he's got that awesome like steampunk motorcycle.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Samurai Jack has a motorcycle. I wonder if that was in the original series or not. Samurai with the motorcycle.
No, the original he just had like an old school robe. He had the sword. That was it. Very nice and neat ponytail. And now it's like the beard, the gun, the motorcycle.
Yeah,
he's gotten like full Mad Max. And I think a lot of people like that they've kind of aged the character without actually having him age.
Yeah.
And comparing like his new kind of savage style to the old, like with his psyche.
Mm-hmm. And the robot like comments on it too. He's like, I wasn't digging the beard, but that mane though, like, that's pretty okay.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny. Yeah.
Which, I love when Jack's, like, yelling at all the hallucinations, and the robot's like, are you okay?
Yeah, yo, like, Jack's cracked, though. Yeah.
And I love these shows.
He's still doing, like, even though he's hallucinating, he's still, like, kicking everyone's butt, so I guess, like, it's okay. Maybe.
Yeah, and, like, this show's not afraid to, like, really explore... Like, this dude is messed up. Like, he's on the verge of suicide. He's hallucinating.
Years. Well, these are like reasonable consequences somebody in his position who's been doing this for 50 years would have. So it's great that they're exploring it. Like, it's totally believable.
Exactly. Like, this might be my favorite show on TV right now because they're willing to actually do stuff with the character. Like, they took a character that people love, they kept him who he is, but they added this new dimension of, like, his psyche being broken.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really is making this show so good. The art direction's amazing, but it's like, what's going to keep us interested?
The soul of the show. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like the characters are the soul of the show. You need good characters to have a good show, I would say. Yeah.
So where do you predict we're going in the next 8 episodes?
Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, I guess at some point, so like, if he never gets his sword back, like, does he like need his sword? Like, is his sword his like identity? Like, is
his
he not
sword is the only weapon that can defeat Aku.
Oh, okay. See, this is why I need to watch the original. Okay, so he like literally does need his sword. So I guess maybe he's gonna hear like somewhere like that he can like get his sword back through some shenanigans, and he's gonna try to get it back. I mean, that's what I imagine. Or like maybe the daughters of Aku that are left are gonna keep fighting him, and he's gonna keep going from like place to place and meeting like other people and maybe finding other people. But I don't know. I guess the goal is really to get the sword if that's what he needs.
Or it just ends as a suicide, just casually.
I do not think the fans have waited, 15 years to see
basically.
That. So, yeah, I don't think
But this show is so good, I think it could get away with it. That's the thing.
I mean, if they did it, they'd probably give it enough progression that it would make total sense and be really high drama for all the right reasons, so... Yeah, I'm gonna guess that he's gonna try to look for the sword or something. That's my prediction. I honestly have no idea besides that, though. What about you? What do you think's gonna happen?
I think we're gonna get more Aku shenanigans. I want more villains of the week. We don't have a lot of time, but I would like at least one or two more good robots.
The robot was awesome, so I'm like so excited for more like villains.
I want flashbacks of him seeing the dead daughter of Aku with the cut throat.
Oh.
I want him to hallucinate about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I get mad when characters died, like, in the kind of the only reason that they died is to progress somebody else's, like, complex inner turmoil or, like, growth as a character. Like, I think that's, like, kind of obnoxious because, like, there are a lot of
she was, like, one of 7 characters. Like, she was kind of dispensable anyway.
We can see where they go with it. It could go somewhere really interesting, so I'll hold off judgment until I see what happens next, but yeah, it did seem to really upset him when he realized she was human, so I'm sure that'll come back in some way.
Yeah. Fun fact, the mother or whoever was like training the daughters was Greg Griffin.
What? Really?
So add another villain to her list of roles.
That was really cool.
Like, we have a really good voice cast for this show.
Yeah, they got good peeps. I wonder how many of these people were in the original show also. I'm assuming Jack's VA is the original.
I think it's the same.
Yeah, probably. But besides that, like, I wonder, yeah. I wonder if we'll see any other recurring characters from the original show, too. I don't know.
There weren't really a lot of recurring characters. They did a lot of just, like, one-offs.
Okay.
But it's possible.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll see. 10 episodes isn't a long time to explore a lot of that, so we'll see. I guess it'd be better for them not to, like, harp on callbacks and to, like, stick to their own, like, current, like, story. I would definitely prefer that, but if they could tie it in a nice way, I'm sure the fans would enjoy it, so we'll see what they do with it.
So as for after the show ends, the kind of obvious next step is Symbiotic Titan. Genndy Tartakovsky's other... Well, think about it. It was the creator of Samurai Jack's other show that got canceled prematurely. That also aired reruns on Adult Swim and Toonami.
Huh.
Like, it seems kind of... It's like if Genndy was able to bring this back, make it do well, get good ratings, why not do it with his other show?
I've never seen Symbiotic Titan either.
Watch it. Like, I've seen all 20 episodes.
There's only 20 episodes? That's
only 20.
That's sad. Aww.
It was supposed to get like 40. Yeah, it got cut down like right when it was picking up.
And this aired after Samurai Jack.
This was like 2010.
Yeah.
2009, 2010.
If
this
I was
like
Tarkovsky, I'd be a little bitter at Cartoon Network at this point. Like, you keep killing my shows, man. Like, this one only lasted first season. What is this?
Well, in his defense, he did quite well for himself afterwards. He made Hotel Transylvania 1 and 2, which made lots of money.
That's true. That's a different kind of format, though.
Yeah. And he's also currently writing the Luke Cage comic.
Oh.
Or he has a Luke Cage comic he's doing that's also very stylized like Samurai Jack. But to the best of like public knowledge, after Samurai Jack, he doesn't have anything on his plate. So, Symbiotic Titan Season 2.
That would be really, I guess, yeah. There's more to explore there since it didn't get very far the first time.
Oh yeah, they have plenty of room. But the question is like, what else could Cartoon Network do? Like, what other Cartoon Network shows would even fit on Adult Swim? Like, what else tread the line close enough that it could kind of get that Toonami version?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the most uncomfortable shows I can think of aren't Cartoon Network shows. Like, I think like a revamped like Invader Zim would be really awesome, but I don't know if that'll ever happen.
See, that's also the right
show. That would be, yeah, that might be too much to hope for.
I would love to see Generator Rex, but I don't think that ever kind of re-aired in Adult Swim. If they started doing that, I think it could pick up enough traction, but because Generator Rex, like, I think could do it because it was already TV PG. I think it could go for a 14 version. So could, like, Secret Saturdays or any of those, but I don't think they'll do it. Like, I think Samurai Jack and Symbiotic Titan might have been, like, the only ones that could tread the line close enough.
What Cartoon Network might do, or Cartoon Network / Adult Swim, is do, like, a mini-series, but, like, a more mature kind of show.
Right.
Like an older target audience for like 10, 12 episodes. Like if they keep experimenting with this like mini format, like I could see that happening, like an entirely new thing that's still like for a more mature audience. Maybe not a reboot, but like something new.
Yeah, I would like to see I would like to see more original Adult Swim shows that aren't just comedies. Because, like, I'll admit, Adult Swim does comedy really well, and it does really zany comedy. But I think Samurai Jack has shown they can do action.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the thing with Samurai Jack, too. Like, it's so, like, great and serious, but then, like, at some points it is, like, I guess the only silly parts I can think about are, like, with Aku, which is, like, insane, since he's, like, the main, antagonist, but... Yeah. I mean, it still feels like a little cartoony, but in, like, such a good way.
Exactly.
Because it's balanced so nicely with the action and the trauma.
It's really interesting. And, like, this show... Like, this shouldn't have happened by all considerations.
Yeah, right. It's been so long.
If I told
we're in this
you,
weird period of reboots right
they're
now.
going to take an old Cartoon Network show that ended in 2004, bring it back on Adult Swim in 2017, take it from TVY7 to TV14, and it's going to be the best thing on TV.
Yeah, it's a little hard to believe, but here we are, man.
Yeah, like, they did it. Like, that's the thing, is this wasn't just some half-assed attempt. This is Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed it so far. I wish we had like more detailed analysis.
I know, it's like such a blur. I think we'll get there as we get more episodes to contextualize. Yeah, we've literally only seen 2 episodes, so like we're still at the beginning.
Yes. So that's about all I have for our discussion of Samurai Jack so far.
Woo! You held out for 35 minutes, Justin. Good job.
My voice is somehow not completely
voice held
gone.
Out. I hope you have some water or something over there to recover after this.
We're gonna take a short break before we record again, and I'm gonna just cough up a lung and come back and be good. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. I know this is a new show for us. Michelle, this is the first time we have had our own show.
Oh my god! Yeah, what about Total Drama, though?
Well, yes, but that's kind of like our own little corner. Like, that's not like a main show.
Yeah, this is new territory. This is a current show.
We've always been the and more. We've never been like one of the featured shows, just us.
Yeah, that's true. Ooh.
Like, this is
man.
We have evolved.
It's exciting. And what a good first show to enter that territory in, right? Than this. I'm so glad we get to talk about this first. This show's so good. Show.
It's not like we were like, we're going to do Teen Titans Go as our show. And then we watched the first episode and we're like, we hate our lives and we're quitting the podcast. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Thank you for supporting. If you want to support us, you can leave iTunes reviews. We love those. Stars and actual written reviews. Support us on Stitcher, all those places. You can support us financially via Patreon at patreon.com/overlyanimated. When you do that, you can join the Patreon exclusive Facebook group where we were already discussing Samurai Jack a bit before this podcast because we took so long because I had no voice. Thank you so much to all our patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Victoria, aka Skylark. Thank you. Yeah, I did that, right?
Yes, good job.
I'm so tired.
Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you so much. And we will see you all next time. This will be coming up either before or after our feedback on Steven Universe Room for Ruby. We'll be doing a lot of roundtable stuff on Star and Steven coming up. And we will continue covering Samurai Jack Weekly until it's done. And then we'll probably do like a roundtable or season recap after.
This is the end of the show, man. And by then I will be caught up because I feel so committed after watching these episodes.
We'll see if I catch up. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, and we will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.